Hey everyone, welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm going to revisit the good old Boss Katana Mark II. I got this a little over a year ago, and yeah, it was cool. And it sounded good at low volumes, but once I got any volume to where it could almost keep up with the drummer, it was just harsh, brittle, even when I turned the treble all the way down. So I finally unlocked some secrets to this, so let's jam for a bit, then we'll listen to it. Yeah, so I'm quite a Luddite when it comes to technology, and I usually like to just play stuff out of the box as it is. But as many of you know, I'm sure, get the computer program involved with the Boss Katana Studio, it unlocks a whole other set of features. And the main feature, all right, let's cut that background music off there. The main feature I'm looking at that has made this amp salvageable to me is the global EQ setting. So now let's get into why I didn't like this one at first. Frankly, at low volumes, it wasn't as noticeable, but right now I'm in 25 watt mode and I have the volume halfway up. What you heard at the beginning there was all with the global EQ turned on. So I'll show you how I dialed it in, but just for a point of reference, I'm on the crunch setting. I have all the EQs at noon, gain's about halfway up, so, you know, just how I would dial it in when I first turned it on, so. That's harsh. So the global EQ, which you can only unlock with computer program. Much more manageable. Up to the lead channel, which these pickups are microphonic, so it's going to get a little noisy, as I'm sure you'll hear here. So that was with the global EQ engaged with the tweaks I did. This is without it. That almost sounds like a metal zone with someone that doesn't know how to tweak it. Just for reference, I'm going to turn the treble all the way down. Okay, so that's tweaking the treble to where it's somewhat manageable. And now I'll go back to turning the global EQ back on and putting the treble back to where it was. And why not? We'll go to the I'm sorry, that was a brown sound. I thought I was on the lead. So. The lead. Now that's the crunch. I might have got that mixed up at the beginning. Sorry. EQ off. The crunch channel is a little bit darker, so if I go to that, I will turn the treble up a little bit. Okay, so what did I do on the global EQ, you're asking? Hopefully, I don't know if this camera really picked the computer up real well. I'm too lazy to try to screen record and then sync it up later. I have a camera. That's how I'm doing it. I'm lazy. But all that treble was just way too much. So I turned the high gain all the way down, but I set the cutoff at 10 kilohertz. Because, I mean, guitar speakers really don't get up that far anyways, but that's just where all that raspiness was. Then I also took the mid and I turned it up a couple of dB around 2 kilohertz because mids help guitars sit in the mix. I left the low mids where they are, but then the low end, I went ahead and put a low cut on it at 60 hertz, which, like I said, these speakers don't get there, but I don't know. When I'm mixing something, that's usually the first thing I do with a guitar is cut off around those frequencies anyways. So, yeah. So what took me so long to do this, you're asking? Quite frankly, I'm a Luddite with technology. I run this whole channel off my iPhone. That's what I've been doing this whole time I've ran this channel. I've never used a DAW or video editing software on a computer. So we haven't had a good computer in this house in probably a decade. Yeah, I finished my master's degree about a decade ago, and that's when I stopped caring about computers. But we finally got this computer this year just to do stuff around the house. We want to do more, you know, my wife also wants to get into more creative outlets. So we finally got a good computer again. So I finally hooked up the Katana to it, which wasn't that hard. I did the firmware update. So now this amp, I was contemplating selling it, but now that this global EQ, which, you know, you write it to here, it stays there. I like that. This amp will probably get used a lot more around here now. It may even battle with all this wall of PVs I have behind me. I'm not too sure on that yet. That's kind of blasphemy coming from me, but I just have it close mic'd with the Sennheiser E609. The speaker is off center, but the mic still is kind of off the cone a little bit. What you think? I hated this amp. Now I might love it. Because I thought the speaker was what was wrong with it, but then I finally learned about the global EQ, which, to me, the fact that they would ship it stock like that is kind of appalling. The global EQ should have been, I mean, especially if you have all the software here, the global EQ should not have been set like that. You know, just completely flat open. It's like hi-fi type sound going through a guitar speaker, like, boss? Maybe whatever firmware updates you do next should come with the global EQ adjusted a little differently. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam a little bit. Why not? Got the Firefly guitar here. It still has the crazy microphonic pickup. That's what it is. Using the DistroKid Trio Plus for the drum and bass, and I have the rhythm part looping through here. So let's see what other sounds we can get through this, and maybe I'll switch the global EQ on and off as we go through. Thanks for checking it out.